What's up, AfterBuzzers? You are watching this season 1 finale of The Family. So much craziness tonight happened. We are literally schwitzing over here. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I can't. Welcome, everybody. Happy Sunday. I apologize for our
sweating
energy right now because we are just freaking out over that finale and what just happened. So crazy. Before we get into it, you can find us all at AfterBuzz TV on Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. Abby has the live chat open, so be sure to get that. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at April Whisenhant. What about y'all?
You can find me sweating on Twitter and Instagram at _Abby Vega.
And I can be found at Nadine DP and the number 3. And please, guys, chat with us tonight. There's so much to discuss, so we want to hear from you.
Yes, please.
We are in a big effort trying to bring back the family because
Bring back the family.
A lot of y'all have commented and technically it hasn't been picked up for a season 2, but we're hoping that if we get everyone behind it, maybe like Netflix or Hulu, maybe even ABC will pick it back up because the power of Twitter and social media is strong.
Everyone, please hashtag bring the family back. Hashtag the family. Get it noticed.
Bring back the family.
Bring back the family.
Please,
Okay,
please.
Let's do our one word, except Nadine, you can't do your same one. Reactions to tonight.
Can I do 2? Because it's my go-to.
Sure. Yes.
Holy guacamole.
Holy guacamole. There's a kid from a show who said that. And I can't think of who it is. Anyway, I don't know.
I don't know how
What's yours?
I top holy guacamole. It's heartache.
Oh,
That's good.
Heartache. I think it's a little bit more PG than the other word I said, guys.
See, I shouldn't have even done that because I don't know what mine is besides, like, holy freaking crap. I mean, I don't. So, okay. Let's just, first of all, we are working on Skyping with Floriana Lima. She'll be calling in at some point to talk about everything with us. So, whenever we get her in, we'll let y'all know. But let's just, first things first, Adam is alive.
We've been saying this.
You know what's funny is all the people on like the chat and YouTube comments, they were all convinced the whole time
that he was alive.
And we let Jenna Bans, that sneaky minx, convince us that he was actually dead.
Well, she said in that article, he is not alive.
Yes.
So, but just like we said then, sometimes writers can do that to throw people off. Yada yada yada. But even at the beginning of this episode, whenever I forget what happened that made me originally say it. Oh, whenever Claire starts to like reminisce or have the visions of seeing Adam whenever she goes to visit the bunker, I'm like, okay, she's having visions of young Adam, like he's most definitely dead.
Yes.
And then I'm like, what?
Yeah, she was hallucinating. She took some type of, I don't know, some type of drug down there, but it's just we all thought he was alive, and he's alive. I have no words. I'm speechless. Like, I want to respond back to you about all this, and I just don't have the words right now.
It's the first time that we've ever been like, so what? And just silence.
And the way they did that, it all happened in the last, 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Is she Skyping in?
Not yet.
Oh.
It was just pure... Well, wait until he has stuff. It was just pure craziness, and we got... Floriana.
Do we got her?
Floriana, who plays Bridie.
Yes.
But when we were watching this entire show, I was, at the end, guys, I was grabbing the television because...
Oh, we got her. Hello?
Can you hear us?
Hi.
Hey!
How are you?
My goodness gracious, girl.
That's our reaction.
I'm having the hardest time hearing you guys.
Oh no. Okay, we'll speak close into the mic. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Are you kidding? I can't even handle it.
We are literally over here having heart palpitations, sweating, just freaking out about that episode.
We asked if they could turn the AC on in the studio because it's way too much right now.
I know. It was so much. That last 10 minutes, oh my gosh.
Wait, so
Pretty nuts.
Are you really dead or are you just hanging out chilling there?
Well, definitely dead.
I was going to say, you looked a little cold and dead to me.
I looked pretty frozen.
Yes.
Well, Nadine, after we got done watching it, she's like, maybe she's not. Like, maybe she's just laying there. I'm like, I'm pretty sure she's dead.
I was like, maybe she passed out drunk or something, because I don't want to see the character of Bridie ever go away. I love Bridie.
I know. No, she's definitely, like, you know how we're a past and present show. So if we were to do a second season, we would see more with flashbacks and everything. With
like
Bridie.
what happened.
So,
Well, we're on
Yeah.
the kick of bring the family back, bring us season 2 back. So hopefully with some, social media influencing going on, we can try to get you guys back on air, because it's ridiculous that you're not coming back for season 2.
yeah, I mean, any effort helps.
Did you see Lance Bass is on board?
I saw that.
Yes.
That was really cool.
What?
I was like, yay, thanks, Lance.
Were you shocked whenever you read that was going to happen to your character in the script?
Definitely shocked. I talked to Jenna Bans about it. I was like, oh my gosh, why are you doing this to Bridie? I was really, really sad about it. But she assured me that it was a really, really cool thing for the story. And then it totally shows where the second season would go. And Bridie has a big hand in the second season. So
Yeah. It's also
it would have been cool if we had one.
definitely. It's all set up perfectly for season 2, because we've been discussing the whole time, like, okay, where would they take a season 2? And it's like this perfect platter that you were so right whenever you came in. Like, this is not anything that any of us ever expected. And just the flashes between you in the snow and Allison Pill standing there on stage, like, okay.
So beautifully done. Paul McGuigan, our director, he's just fantastic. He has such a great vision. So I love how that came out. Mm-hmm. It was really beautifully done.
Did you know that when did you find out that Adam was alive? Or did you know everything that was going to happen the entire season right away? Or did you just find out tonight?
Not the entire season. I would say I found out probably around season 5 or 6, Jenna told me.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so there was some time where we were all such fans of it. We were like, what's going to happen? We have no idea. So it was shocking when we found that out. It was cool.
Yeah.
Because we had to cast Luke Slattery, who plays Adam.
Right.
So he was coming in for fittings and stuff, and we're like, is that who we think it is?
That's so crazy. You guys didn't know, and you were just seeing him getting fitted.
This dude over here.
Yeah, like some of us knew, and then it kind of trickled around, and then we were like, okay. So then I asked Jenna, and then she told us, But.
Yeah, because we got convinced after that article came out with Jenna saying that, that he's dead, but people were constantly commenting saying, I think Adam's alive, we haven't seen a body. And then with this episode, when they made it seem like the dog was wanting to build up bodies, I was completely convinced that it was going to be Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
Oh my!
When I read that,
last 10 minutes was absolutely insane. We were screaming and sweating,
Holding each other, like, what?
Because what I thought when they had, when they said, oh, well, the DNA came back and it isn't Adam, I was like, all right, well, they paid off someone again to change the DNA results. And then we see Adam. Oh my goodness. It was
I just love the shot of Luke, who plays Adam, walking into the convenience store and the scar on the back of your head, and everyone's like, wait, is that him? Is that him?
Right.
I thought that was really cool.
Floriana, I was pointing at the TV, like my finger was going to go through the screen. I was like, the scar.
And right when I heard Jane talk to someone in the back seat asking if there's a bottle, I'm like, it has to be
100%. We were all definitely on the thing of, oh, that's Adam's body whenever we see Nina's character with the dog over there. And it was like, oh, so that's where we were like so sure.
But
that's what happened.
But you did a great job when you came here of convincing us opposite, because we were like, well, she said in an interview. You're like, well, if she said it in an interview, like, we're like, so you are a sneaky girl. You're a good actress.
Yeah. Well, we didn't want to give away too much, because then you wouldn't have this moment of like, oh my gosh.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the family was actually on the top trends on Twitter. I don't know if you knew that.
I thought that was really great. I was watching a little bit of the Twitter, although I was trying to really focus on watching as the fan tonight. But
Right.
it was like, it was crazy. We were like number 2 at some point. But
Yeah.
it's awesome. We have so many great fans on Twitter. I'm bummed that everyone's so bummed about us not getting picked up. And I think, I don't know. Who knows? The power of Twitter could be great.
Very true. I want to read a question really quick.
We have so much. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's actually from a Twitter fan. It's from Corey Lou 315, and she says, "Please explain how you think Adam and Jane ended up together. Is that actually his baby? Best finale ever. Hashtag the family."
That's a really interesting theory. In fact, my stepdad had the exact same question. I actually don't know. I can honestly say I don't know that, but that's not. I mean, nothing's out of the realm of possibilities at this point.
That isn't where my mind went whenever I saw that Adam was with the baby and Jane. But I guess that's definitely possible for sure. So
I'm at this point really hoping. I can someone else just pick this up, please?
Yeah,
I feel like after seeing that finale and everyone's reactions, someone would have to be dumb not to.
Yeah,
I
give
agree
it a
with that.
chance. I don't know how everything works, but
So another scene that happened though tonight with Bridie and Willa, when Willa comes over to the apartment, first of all, and just poor girl, because she walks in there acting like, this is my girlfriend's home. Like, I'm gonna go in, I'm just gonna open the fridge, grab whatever she was grabbing, a drink to drink.
Coconut water.
It was a coconut water?
I have no
don't know.
idea.
It looked like a blue moon or something. But
I think it was fizzy water.
fizzy water. Okay, I thought she was day drinking. I thought Bridie, did one on her. But but I wasn't sure, like, what do you think? Do you think that Bridie actually isn't doing the story because of what Willa said to her about not being it's going to be a 15-minute of fame journalist? That's what caused her not to post it? Or do you think it's because she actually cared about Willa?
I don't think that little speech got to Bridie. I think she had a little bit of a plan. I think we would have seen in the second season what she was really up to. I don't really know. I haven't gotten a ton of details on that, but I don't think that she was really fazed by that. But I do think she wanted out of that paper, and she wanted some way to get out of it. So
yeah, because I know Willa said to her, like, one story doesn't make you a legit journalist. And then Bridie's like, yeah, well, I'd own you. And then Willa's like, you already do. During the
and
whole
I
thing.
think that was a very important line. I already own you, and so it's I don't know. I wish we had a season 2 to tell you guys.
I just didn't think she was gonna go with murder as.
Well, we don't know that she did it.
That's actually one person actually asked. He's like, "Can you ask her who killed her?" And
we have to assume that it was
Danny
Willa, of
or
course.
Willa.
No,
I said Danny
Willa.
possibly.
You did say that.
Bridie, do you know? Or Bridie, sorry. Bridie, do you know who killed you?
Well, Jenna has purposefully not told me.
I was gonna say I don't even want to know because, like I said, I'm in my heart. I'm just hoping that something turns around and there's a season 2.
Okay, well, prediction of what I think would have happened. I think Ben did it, possibly.
But he doesn't know.
Because he wants to stay in the family, He wants to be a part of the family.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that she knew.
But he kills
all
and
of
he
that
dips
information.
out. Maybe Danny talked to Ben because we never saw what happened after with Danny and Ben.
Floriana, we have another question for you.
Okay.
This isn't about the finale specifically, but Julia just wanted to know your favorite episode to film. Now that they've all aired, what was your favorite?
That's a really good question. I really liked 11, the last episode, because I thought that was a really cool scene with me and the waitress. I really liked doing that scene. I think that was probably one of my favorite scenes to do.
We loved that.
So that was the scene you were talking
cool.
about. I remember when you were here, you said in episode 11 was your favorite scene, but you couldn't really talk about it yet.
Yeah, it was a really interesting reveal at the end. Everyone was like, whoa, that was what she was up to. So that was cool. I like how that was done. I would say 11, yeah.
Yeah, we did not see that coming, that's for sure.
At first I thought you were hitting on the waitress. And I was like, oh wow, she's bored at the cafe, wants to get a new girl. She's sick of Willa. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. It's just all craziness and everything that happened tonight. I'm trying to think of the other major moment.
Well, what was your craziest shock of the finale? What did you think was the I mean, besides obviously your character dying, but
I said, is someone gonna die?
I think the most shocking for me is that moment when Jane's in the minivan and she says the bottle. I think that is, to me, was the, oh my God, that's when the wheels start turning of, okay, who is that? And then he walks out. I think that's the moment of like a freak out for me.
I just wonder
really
like where they had him the entire time, or where she had him, because I assume Doug didn't know, right?
Well,
no.
Yeah.
I don't think he was aware of it. I think
holy
I
cow.
don't think he was aware that she knew of him.
Right.
Wait, wait, hold on a second, guys. You guys are saying that he didn't know that Adam was alive and Jane was keeping Adam alive?
No, she didn't know. Jane knew about Adam.
Oh, gotcha. Yes. Oh, well, because we saw at the end, though, him knocking on the door, the shack outside, and she looked. And so maybe that's when she found out. Was right at the end when she was leaving.
I don't know, but
because you see the shed where she sees like, there's somebody. Yeah.
There's someone else in there.
When Jane asked about the bottle, I was just like, oh my goodness. And then I realized there's less than a minute left. And I was very sad. I was like, this is not happening.
But I wonder why he just is sitting in the back seat of the car. Like, why wouldn't he just immediately take over the entire van and like ditch Jane and just
because maybe she was helping him like she was helping Detective
They're helping
Clemens.
each other out though, maybe.
Because she was always so like compassionate with Clemens. Maybe she was doing the same with Adam and they kind of have a bond and were helping each other. I don't know.
Maybe.
In the
again, things we would find out in the next.
I know.
It's killing me. It is
so hard to chat about all of this now because it's just unanswered questions.
What do you think about the phone call between Ben and Adam? Whenever he called, do you think that Adam is? Let's say there would be a second season. Do you think that Adam is gonna like go at Ben in a malicious way, or do you think it would be more like, okay, I just want my family back, so scooch on out?
Well, judging by that last scene, I would think there would be a little tension there. Right?
Yeah, just a little bit.
I think he would come in and be like, oh my God. Like,
right.
I think there would definitely be, a struggle in some way.
I also think it's so weird that Ben never, well, at least to what we saw, ended up telling Willa and Claire that he didn't actually hurt Adam.
Right. I think he was just conditioned by Doug to.
But now I don't know, because now
I'm
back, because there was a moment where I felt bad for Ben. I'm like, maybe I was too hard on him. He didn't actually hurt Adam. But then now I'm back to, oh my gosh, this kid is very creepy and manipulative.
Oh yeah, I sent out an official tweet that said I've never disliked Ben more. So my opinion on him is official now.
There's a cool line. I mean, Claire says something where she's like, I was just in that bunker and I saw for 10 years that this person was in this hole. Like, if he was treated like an animal, maybe that we shouldn't treat him so badly. Like,
right.
Yeah. I don't remember the actual line.
It was something like, of course he turned into an animal after being treated that way.
So, I mean, you could look at it that way, that this guy has been so abused that he has no way of really dealing with people. He doesn't know how to deal with people, so I don't know.
And when we look at it, though, it's not like he's technically done anything wrong. I mean, obviously he didn't help Adam whenever they were trying to escape. And he is, tricking the Adams family a bit, but it's not like he actually really did hurt him. It's not like he
didn't save him.
Well, my question now, though, too, is this. I mean, we're not going to get it answered. But does Ben know that Adam is still alive, or is this phone call the first he knows of him being alive?
I think it's the first he knows of him being alive.
Yeah,
and we can't really tell if he's going to do something wrong because we didn't get to see.
You're saying, does Ben know that Adam's still alive?
Yeah.
Until this phone call, because obviously with the phone call he would find out, but did Doug take him out and did Ben just assume he died? So maybe, I don't know. There's too much I don't know.
I don't know. That's a really good question.
Oh my gosh.
I have no idea.
I feel like he would think that he was dead because when he was in that scene, which is another scene that I loved, which Claire and child Adam like holding one another in the bunker, and then Ben looking at Adam with his skull open in the bunker. So I would assume that Ben thought that Adam was dead. But
Yeah,
I don't know. I think
think
there's
so
just so
too.
many questions.
Or dying, or
yeah, very seriously Maine.
Goodness gracious, this
I don't
show.
know. I know.
This finale was so crazy. It
Yeah.
was definitely our best episode.
Oh.
It's sad because we have so much more to tell, but
It was incredible.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we are going to keep our fingers crossed. Thank you so much for joining us
Thank
at
you.
the last minute.
Thank
and
you for answering my tweet so quickly. You're
Oh,
amazing.
of course. I
We
was perusing all the comments. It was really cool to see all the fans. It was cool.
oh good. We are going to keep our Bring Back the Family
Happening.
campaign going.
It's happening. It's happening.
Yes.
That's great. Thanks.
And you were just absolutely incredible.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
you know, I mean, I already just called you Bridie. That's how into, you know, when I hear your
I
voice,
love
I hear
it.
the show. So you'll always be Bridie to me, okay?
Of course. Thank you guys for watching and just being such loyal fans to it. So cool.
Of course,
love
we
it.
love it. Thanks for talking with us.
Yes, we hope to see you in a season 2.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right.
Thank you.
All
Have a
right.
good night.
Bye.
Of course. Bye.
Bye.
That was she's so great.
She's
Yeah, I love her.
incredible.
that was so
gosh.
nice for her to call in.
Hashtag Bridie not dead. Bring Bridie back alive and bring the family back.
I think she confirmed that she was dead.
Yeah.
So this time we should
So that
believe
makes
it.
sense though. I completely forgot that the season does like flashbacks a lot.
that's
So it
valid.
makes sense that we would slowly learn what went down with her. She wouldn't just be dead and off the show.
Exactly.
Valid.
I want to talk about a smaller part of the show tonight since we've semi-touched on the big parts. Hank is going through some stuff. So we have all, obviously, throughout the season, gone so back and forth with Hank, and whether we love him or whatever, but we know that he stopped his injections last episode, and now he's at this park just watching the kids, I guess. And this kid falls over on his bike and then is like, oh, hey, can you give me a ride? Which, oh gosh, I really it makes me like pray that children aren't watching the show because I'm like, never ask a stranger for a ride.
Ugh.
But Hank says yes, which is like, of course, a terrible move because we can tell he's already, feeling he is at the park watching children. I don't know. What do y'all think about this? Because it almost seems to me like later whenever Hank and John are talking, when John comes over to Cheers that they caught Doug, it's almost like he's clearly he's trying to justify, like, okay, I feel this way but I haven't acted on it, so it's okay. But obviously we know that it's not. I don't know. How do y'all feel about the situation now?
Well, let's ask Abby, who's
Yeah,
been
that's
pro
what I'm
Hank
mainly
this
looking at
entire
you.
time. Basically, this question is right here.
I'm like, he's looking at you.
So obviously, this is
it's a touchy situation.
It's a very touchy situation. So the line he said, wanting doesn't make you the monster, taking it does. That was his kind of justification.
Yes.
Which to me, the only way I can kind of think about it is clearly no one wants that to be their mindset.
No, of
he
course.
doesn't want it to be like that. It is just that born like that, you think, or you know what I mean?
I don't know.
So I understand that line that he said. It's actually acting on it, but it's such a weird thing. Like I've said, Hank's character this whole time, I just can't. It's a very interesting character.
Yeah.
I've never watched a show with a character like that before.
I really like actually how they did it instead of just making him, very cut and dry. Like, no, this is so wrong. I'm so bad, da 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 da. They make him be like, okay, I don't think I'm that bad because I don't act on it, but I don't want this to happen, and I know that this is very wrong.
Yeah.
It's like I like that they did that, and the comparison that he gave with John whenever he said, he's like, have you ever wanted to have sex with someone that didn't want to have sex with you back? It's obviously a completely different situation because
that's
it concerns young people and minors, but I don't know, it's one of those things where I'm left like feeling
he made a valid case, a valid point, but at the same time,
it's not the same.
None of it's acceptable. It's ridiculous. And why the heck were they so fascinated about him leaving the scarf behind, not the bike? Well, what about the kid's bike?
No,
yeah,
I think
true.
I think the reason they did the scarf is because then that ties back to him having Adam's glove.
But what happened
right.
to the bike?
Yeah, we don't know what happened to the bike.
I'm
But
sorry,
he-
I just don't know where the bike is.
But Farrah said something that's really true. It's Hank compares an affair to his desire for young boys, which makes my stomach turn, which is true. it's those are completely different situations.
Right.
Both wrong, but it's so different. You can't even compare them.
But that's why when he said that to John was like, no, but she's a consenting adult. Like, sure, it's wrong, but whatever. And that's why he said, okay, well, have you ever wanted someone that didn't want you back that obviously wouldn't be consenting?
Yeah.
And
it's a valid point, but it's still it's a point.
Someone else just said Hank made me sick the way he was trying to make pedophiles acceptable.
Exactly.
I don't think that's what the show was trying to do.
No, I don't think that they were trying to do that.
It's
either.
just I think
dude, where's my bike?
Where's my bike? I think they were trying to just show the mindset of someone who's in that that's a burden they carry. It's not something they want to be.
I definitely don't think that the show is trying to
make it
anything acceptable by any means. It's just showing, and I always say, and I think I've said it probably on every after show that I've ever been on, I really hate how people feel the need to be so politically correct all the time. Obviously there are things you have to be about, of course, but I like that a show took a risk, and I don't know that I've ever seen a show address a topic this way. So
I agree with you.
It's an interesting, it's a different way. I don't think by any means that they were trying to advocate
and then
for
Farrah
anyone.
said, Farrah is just killing it with the comments. She said this too.
Farrah.
Everyone's hates on Hank so much, but no one seems to have the same hatred for Doug, which is a very true point. Everyone, as the show airs,
because
people pay attention to Hank, but Doug did
Hank is a major character.
Well, no, but it's also that everyone just you have to hate Doug. There's no reason why you wouldn't hate Doug. Hank, there's oh, I hate him, oh, but I kind of understand him, oh, but I really hate him. So I think that's why everyone focuses. Everyone has a clear Danny.
True.
Everyone loves Danny. Who doesn't love Danny?
That is true. Doug,
we've never fought about if we hate Danny.
Yeah, that's true, because everyone clearly hates Doug.
Everyone wants to see Doug rot in a little hole.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
So
I think that with Hank, the reason why, and we've kind of said this before, we go so back and forth on him is because we have seen him making efforts to take away these urges that he has, and that's where it's a little hard for the natural human brain to understand when we're not in that same position. So it's oh, how can you have these urges? That's so wrong. That's that's terrible. But we're not. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird.
But
thing.
I leave feeling not level about Hank. Definitely a little down more than up about Hank, because for a while I was oh, at least he's trying. This is great. He's not actually doing anything. Yeah. But then we see the box at the end where he's not. He didn't just collect Adam's stuff.
Yeah.
He's had other little mementos, and he picks up that little toy giraffe, which made me think oh, how young was that one?
I know.
So
yeah, I don't know.
I
wish we learned
Hank
more.
is a moot point at this.
Yeah.
I really like your point, though, that you said about how a show is actually not being PC about it. And I think I didn't even think of it in that sense, that they're actually just showing the struggle that someone actually does have, that people have. Even though if it's still horrible, it's still not something that is acceptable. It's great that they're discussing it.
Yeah,
having a conversation about it. Because any type of addiction or addict, you fall off the wagon and you try to deal with it. So they're really showing all different sides of his addiction and stuff.
I definitely have never seen a character like this before. I feel like this issue has never been touched on this side of things, so I thought it was very interesting, and I thought it was a really great part of the show.
It's a great story topic.
Yeah.
Great point, April.
Oh, thanks.
Great point.
So let's talk about Claire in the bunker with
poor woman.
Baby Adam.
Heart-wrenching.
They have a photographer set up to come to the house that morning because she still has not made a statement about winning the governor race. Not the greatest thing to do. And she just gets overwhelmed. She looks numb when she walks out and is looking at everyone, and she just leaves and goes to the bunker where Adam and Ben were held, where she sees young Adam. So I imagine that it's weird because I'm well, obviously it's a fake moment, it's not real, but I'm I feel like that would really happen to, or could potentially really happen to, a mom who lost her child, being back in that, just having that feeling and the thoughts of your child actually being there. But their conversation is what I thought was the most interesting, especially the part where she was she asked him why did you go with him, and he said, well, he had a dog, and she's no, you're a smart boy, you're so smart, why did you make such a dumb decision? And I love how they showed the anger that really goes behind that too. Clearly she's distraught. She lost her son. She did not lose her son, actually.
Oh my.
But I know. I'm sorry. I can't even stay on topic because I'm just still on that. But I like how they showed, you know, the other feelings rather than just like complete devastation.
Which is, it's so understandable for a parent too. You know, like you raise your kid instilling certain things in them, and then you find out that it's one little slip of them not listening to you that can change everything like that.
I think of how many times, like, well, I'm a grown person now, but how many times when I was younger and still now, like, you know, we do things that, like, your parents instill, like, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. But obviously you still do some things because you just automatically assume that you're going to be safe. No one ever thinks
that they're going to be the
person,
one.
Right.
No one thinks it's going to happen to them. That's
I think
the thing.
I think the saddest part of the that entire, like, conversation between the two of them was he was like, I was right here. Like, why didn't you find me?
And she's like,
and her response was, I didn't know. And I
was
started
so,
like,
Joan Allen.
I
Joan
turned my
Allen
back
is
to you
so
guys because I
good.
started tearing up. I was like, this is embarrassing. I'm crying.
No, I thought I was gonna cry. Joan Allen was so amazing, and and
She
her
killed
crying,
it tonight.
she's just awesome.
Yeah.
All around, and has been great the whole season. But that scene was so sad.
Yeah.
So sad.
Her tears. I mean,
Yes.
just everything was so real and amazing scene done by the entire show. And I'm happy that they showed that because it seemed like she got a little piece from it.
She needed that.
And then that's what caused her to kind of put herself in Ben's shoes.
Yeah.
With the line that Floriana said about, you know, they're down there for 10 years like caged animals. Of course they turn into one.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I mean, she hasn't fully gotten closure. I think every time she thought she was getting closure, Willa comes in and is like, here's another, you know,
Screw Willa.
left wing.
Can we just say
Freaking
screw Willa?
Like, you know what I mean? So
Willa.
every time she's been trying to get new closure and closure, and so this I think is the final.
Yeah.
Well, not the final because now Adam's actually
Right. Willa is one of those characters that I think they did such a great job of casting because Allison Pill is like a very, you know, she's like a all-American.
yes.
Looks like she would be a bubbly, just like
cheerleader,
cute
like, hey.
little person, but
Yeah.
actually she's like and sadistic and crazy, her character anyway. So I think they did a great job of casting that because you never would expect a person like that to play a role like that. And she's just, you know, obviously she's potential murderer. She let this boy in and didn't tell that she thought he, you know, may have killed her brother for a long time. I don't know. I just like her playing that character.
It's funny because to me, Willa would be like my least favorite character in regards to like just them as a person, a horrible
of
person.
course.
But Allison Pill was probably like my favorite performance on the show in regards to actors.
Yeah.
She was definitely one of my favorites. So it's funny how that works out.
Well, I love how every episode, especially this episode, there's always a creepy scene of her just sitting there and someone coming or entering, her
She always
listening to
has, like, a coffee
conversation
or something like.
So like her just sitting at the door. How long do you think she was sitting at the door waiting for her mom to get home?
Hours.
The
She's
roles
just
are
sitting
reversed
there,
between
like,
them so much.
Yes, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, right.
waiting on you.
And
Who's
what
waiting on
about, what about the Willa, while we're talking, Willa and Danny scene? Loved that.
I did, and I knew. I said it out loud. I'm like, he's gonna walk away. He's gonna walk away because she had been keeping this secret of her brother not actually being her brother from him for so long. And I love when she's like, I was gonna tell you. No, I wasn't. And I'm glad. You know, she tends to think that she's just gonna get off with things in an easy way. So she's like, remember when we were little and you gave me the Indian burn or the rope burn? I forgot what she called it. And she's like, why don't you do that again and we'll just get it over with? And he's like, okay, close your eyes. And just
But she started immediately crying when she started closing her
'cause
eyes.
she
She
knew.
knew what was happening, you know?
yeah.
She deserved that so much because definitely within like the last few episodes, you see how good of a brother he's been to her. He's been, you know, being worried with her and Bridie, trying to make sure that she doesn't get hurt in that situation.
Yeah.
And then so after he's doing all of that, for him to find out, I do not blame him one bit.
No. Oh, I don't
course
either,
not.
of course.
Can we just talk about the saddest part is that John just is the
He doesn't
only guy that
know.
doesn't know.
He's in the dark.
I hashtag beers with a Hank because that's all he's like.
He's so
That's all
oblivious.
he's like concerned. Like, hey, let's celebrate.
He's
you know?
chilling
Like,
because John has a freaking heart of gold. Like obviously he did this bad thing with Nina.
Yeah.
But like he feels for Hank in the sense of like we,
Yeah.
you know, incarcerated this man 10 years for something that he didn't do. Obviously, he doesn't know the other intricacies of Hank's mind, but he wants to fix things. He's the only one who's actually really trying to fix things between, you know, the two of them. Not that he necessarily should, but that's why I thought in the last scene, whenever Adam was calling, I thought John was going to answer, and that was going to be how he found out.
See, I just kind of knew. I'm like, it's going to be Ben who answers because he's not going to let them know.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be John, too.
Also, it's funny. George goes, so sad the last thing we saw about Danny is he leaving his beloved bar. Because he's in that bar every episode.
Yeah.
That's why everyone knows where to find him. Everyone just goes, all right.
We'll go to the bar, we'll find him
Willa
there.
even says, she's like, but him, Ben coming home brought you home. I'm like,
okay.
All right,
Yeah.
Willa. Well, that's just
I
Willa
know.
trying to be sweet and sensitive.
Were you guys surprised that Ben straight up told Danny?
I
think we saw in the preview
and
a
I
little
was
bit.
and I wasn't, because and that's another scene that I loved. Danny just being so, you know, at this point we know that he's fully accepted Ben as his brother,
Yeah.
and he's, you know, like, oh, let's play some Texas Hold'em, or I forget what they were playing, and then Adam or Ben just comes out and is like, you know, he did this and he did this. He's like, what? No, you weren't at an arcade, you were at a park. And I just thought it was a great way for them to reveal it, because it was different than any other way that they revealed it to someone else.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Part of me now looking back on it, because in my opinion, there's no way that I feel like Ben was just going to hang up and not let the family know that Adam was alive.
Just gonna hang up too.
So now I'm looking back and reading in, because like I said, I started feeling bad for Ben. I'm like, okay, maybe I was too hard on him, maybe whatever. But now I'm thinking, was he just covering his tracks so that it's more on Willa?
I still feel bad for Ben, actually.
I don't.
I feel bad for him, well, because of what he went through. And
that.
I mean, he really, like, technically he hasn't done anything wrong.
Technically.
Other than, I mean, now we don't know if he's going to turn around and just hang up the phone.
Well, regardless if he hangs up the phone or not, Adam's a big boy now. Knows exactly where
That's
his mom
true.
lives.
Yeah,
go to
he
the
can go
governor's
home.
mansion. Like,
That is
Exactly.
true.
you're gonna find him. You
It
know
takes
what I mean?
a simple, quick. That's another
I'm so
a
annoyed
thing that
about
I just
this
thought about.
season.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, Claire found out before, because we see the scene between Claire and Nina whenever Nina is like, you know, we have your guy, or we found these remains, but we need to confirm. We need your DNA to confirm that it's Adam. And then in her speech the next day, which is where I assumed, like, oh, she'll say that they found his body, and she'll tell everybody we didn't know, da-da-da-da. And then she didn't say it. We should have known right then, okay, it's not Adam. He's probably alive.
See, I honestly thought that she was just going to straight up say, you know, this isn't my son, but he was down here with him.
I did too.
I thought she was going to come clean.
Yeah, but then she didn't. We should have known
I
right then.
didn't
She
even-
didn't
I
say
didn't even
something
think
I
about
about
thought
it.
right then though that they did the whole DNA cover up again, because she Will already has the end with the guy she went to college with.
I
But
didn't even think about
Claire
it.
told Nina, though, she's like, okay, do it.
That's why I thought they had the DNA cover up somehow. Like somehow they were gonna still like fudge it up.
I thought she meant like,
See,
okay,
I
I want to
thought-
bury my son. That's more important.
That's what I
than
thought too.
covering it up.
I thought at this point Claire was just
Whatever.
It's, you know,
She's like, that's more important.
And at this point, I think she had come to terms with why Ben may have hurt him. She was learning to accept Ben. I think she just wanted the body. And at this point, like you said, that was more important to her.
Yeah.
And she didn't really care the repercussions.
You know, Claire for the win in this season, because we started out covering the show and we're like, oh, she's sneaky. She's all about the job. Da da da. She's actually not.
No, it's all
I
Willa.
mean, yeah, crazy.
The only thing she's
Willa.
covering up is the whole Ben thing, but I mean that's all she can do, and she's struggled with that so
Yeah,
much.
exactly.
So she's done the best she could.
And at least we've seen her struggle.
Yeah.
She's not just like, oh, well, my career is more important, so I'm not going to say anything.
When she was doing his Windsor knot, I thought she was gonna.
I know.
Like she was like, his face. He's like,
I know.
don't call me that.
I know,
She's
and
intense.
she is covering
Yeah.
up Ben, but at this point, I think by her saying the DNA, that at this point, I don't think she even cares if people find out that it is
No.
Ben. So
Yeah.
that's not even really something I don't even consider her really lying about anymore.
No,
Yeah.
I don't either. Let's talk about our boy, Detective Clemens.
Goodness
he
gracious.
is saved. Okay, so
Yay.
we had Matt Lawler Skype in last week, which we so much enjoyed, and we have all been wondering, like, is he gonna survive? Are they gonna find him? Well, so this little, I wrote it down, but not that it matters. The oak that they found underneath the table. They're like, oh, it's only from a certain place, so that's how we'll find where it is. But then what happened? They didn't go to where the scarlet oak was. Oh, because he called.
He left the coded message that said, like, I'm gonna lay low for a while
until everything evens
Was
out.
it you who said that there's got to be some code that they have?
I did say that. I was like, if they were partners, if I had a partner, my safe word would be yellow. Theirs is laying low. So I mean, they're smarter.
But she's all depressed because we saw last week where Jane was like, you have to call and make them stop looking for you. And then we see the scene where she's like loading up food for him because they're gonna go to Canada. This is where my mind, I'm sorry, I have to say this, and it's not about the Detective Clemens situation, but I'm like,
I love seeing your mind go on your face right now. Like, it's all like being played out with your eyes.
I'm like, was she, okay, so when she's laying out the food for him, she says they're gonna go to Canada. Was she actually gonna go to Canada with him, or was she like just planning on going somewhere with Adam the entire time?
I don't think she was planning on going.
I thought she was the one who shot him.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't think that...
Wait, it was Adam who shot him, right?
Because whenever at the end, whenever they're in the house, he grabs the shotgun because Jane told
Oh, yeah, and you see him with, like, the gun.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
He shot him in the nether region, which I'm like, is what exactly, if someone was keeping me in the bunker and doing those things, 100% is where
I thought it was Jane who shot him too, because that's what Nina said.
But I think, but it was Adam, obviously.
Right, but we didn't know he was alive at that time.
Exactly. But I'm confused too about what the process was. I think that she did get the food, was planning on going to Canada, whatever. And I think when she was going into the car to grab something is when she heard the pounding on the door. And on the cage or whatever, the shed, and that's when she found Adam.
You think she didn't know until like then?
No, see, I think she knew.
I think she didn't know and found him, and then she's like, we gotta go quickly, and then he's like, gotta do one thing.
No, see, I think she knew, and she knew that Adam had the shotgun, and that's why she lied to Doug, told him it was in the car to distract him, and then Adam could come out.
I didn't think she knew that Adam was gonna shoot Doug, because she's like, what are you doing? He's like, I gotta do something first, and like clicks it.
So I think she found him and freed him, and then...
You think she found him that day?
Well, because you saw him knocking on it.
You
saw him, there's that, we have to look back at that scene, but he was knocking on the shed, and she's like, what? I
remember it happening, but I didn't.
Between her coming from the car and going to the car, when she was loading or doing something, she heard that.
So he just like happened to come to right then?
I'm convinced...
We would find out how he got out of that situation.
I'm convinced that Jane had kind of almost the same relationship she did with Clemens. I feel like she knew he was there and kind of helped him.
But she was always so confused about the boys. Like, she was so real, saying like she hopes that what's his name rots in hell, the Doug rots in hell and stuff. And she was so like, what? She's like, I thought. But she did say in that one scene,
she knew
you
he had
said
done it.
that you would never do it again.
Right.
But Adam would be the again. So maybe she knew about Ben and not Adam.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or maybe she knew about the boy whose, remains were in the ground.
The guy they killed.
Yeah.
And didn't know. So then she didn't know about Adam this whole time.
Maybe she didn't.
I actually thought that
we're talking it out, guys.
Yeah. I thought that it was
this.
Clemens beating on the thing, but then obviously he wasn't, because he was still dead in the thing.
No, yes, that was Adam.
So maybe
she did
just
been like a quick turnaround.
Well, that's why she's like, quick, we have to go. Because he probably ran into the house. And she's like,
that's true.
He's outside or whatever, going in the cart, something like that.
Yeah. So they were keeping, or Adam was in a different place. So did Doug know that Adam was alive the whole time?
Doug is the one that's been keeping him.
Yeah, I think Doug.
Right.
So that's what the electric fence was for too. Was for that dead body not to dig up, and I think he was down in that bunker.
Right.
That he had down there.
So were they kept in the same? You know how they have like their house and then the other house. Were they kept in the same place? No.
They were kept. No. So once Adam tried to kill him and stuff, he didn't want the two boys together anymore. So he separated Ben and he separated Adam.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I meant Adam and Detective Clemens.
They were in different places.
They were in different places because at the big spot. Well, maybe in the beginning they were in the same spot. They had to.
This is too much.
Let's talk about them finding Clemens though. But so Nina is at a bar and she hears like these people discussing it. They're like dungeon, bunker, low, and then she starts to think.
It all clicks.
She goes and she goes to this place in the woods. She hears the gunshot. I'm sorry, I'm going fast because we have to wrap soon. But and then she walks around and that's where she sees Doug with his shot off and finds Clemens. And he tells her, he's like, we don't have him yet. I can't ID him. And but then it works out to where obviously she ends up finding out that it was for Adam. He was Adam's killer.
I'm so sad. Do we really have to be done?
Keeper. I know. Okay, everybody. So we're just about out of time, but please, please, please use every bit of social media and influence that you have, because we want to see a season 2 come back. As we know, all of y'all do. The show is just amazing, and it's like, how can you can't just leave us here.
And for those that don't know, it didn't get renewed for a second season on ABC. So maybe we can try to
Hulu.
use a hashtag bring the family back, or bring back the family.
Social media is like so powerful these days. I that's why I feel like there's a
we need to use it.
Follow us on
Plus,
social media and retweet us.
We would all be a little sad not seeing Zach Gilford every week.
Oh,
yes.
100%.
Danny boy.
We have to know what happens.
Yes.
Danny boy.
Okay, for our it's the finale. I'm so sad.
I'm so sad.
As always, y'all can find us all at AfterBuzz TV. Be sure to comment on the link. Let us know what you thought of the finale. And definitely tweet to bring back the family. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at April Whisenhant.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at _Abby Vega.
Thanks so much. This season was absolutely incredible. We had the best panel ever. And we had the best fans chatting with us all the time. So yes, hashtag bring the family back. We want a season 2.
Yes,
but if not, season 1 has left us with heartache and amazing joy as well. So thank you, the family writers and everyone else. And you can find me at Nadine DP3.
Yes. Thank you.
Bye guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.